The 1950s were a golden era of post-war optimism in America, a time when cars weren't just for getting from point A to B, they were status symbols, fashion statements, and bold visions of the future. Automakers raced to design vehicles that looked like they had driven straight out of a sci-fi movie. But for every design triumph, there were always some spectacular failures. Today, we're diving into 30 of the dumbest cars of the 50s, vehicles you probably haven't seen before. 1953 Willis Arrow. Our journey starts with the 1953 Willis Arrow, a small car made by Willis Overland in the United States. Under the hood was an inline six-cylinder engine producing around 91 horsepower. Its most notable feature was its unique shape. Soft curves replaced sharp angles, the roof sloped gently, and rounded edges gave it a distinct look compared to the more angular designs of its era. Inside, the car could seat 5, and the interior was simple, lacking the bells and whistles of larger American cars. Despite these quirks, the Willis Arrow is often remembered as one of the worst cars of its time. With just 91 horsepower, it was underpowered compared to the bigger, stronger cars of the 50s. Its design was also seen as outdated and unappealing next to newer compact models. Sales struggled, and production ended in 1955, marking it as an unsuccessful venture and one of the least popular American cars of the decade. 1954 Hudson Jet. Next up, the 1954 Hudson Jet, a compact car built by the Hudson Motor Car Company to compete with the Nash Rambler. It had a six-cylinder engine producing roughly 104 horsepower, with a choice of manual or hydromatic automatic transmission. The interior was functional, fitting 6 passengers, while the exterior was boxy and plain, earning the nickname Dull Beige Box. The Hudson Jet earned its spot on the worst cars list because of multiple issues. It faced stiff competition in the small car market and suffered from high production costs. Its plain design and underwhelming performance didn't win over buyers. Around the same time, Hudson merged with Nash Kelvinator to form American Motors Corporation, resulting in a short-lived production run before the Jet was discontinued entirely. 1950 Nash Airflight. The 1950 Nash Airflight was a bold and unusual car from Nash Motors. Powered by a 3.8-liter inline six-cylinder engine producing about 112 horsepower, it was reliable and easy to drive. Buyers could pick between a standard 3-speed manual or a custom-installed hydromatic automatic. The Airflight's interior offered ample space and comfort, with a front seat that converted into a full-sized bed and plenty of storage. Its exterior featured sweeping curves and a rounded design aimed at improving fuel efficiency. Even with these innovative touches, the Nash Airflight is considered one of the worst cars of the era. Its unique design divided opinions, and its heavy, aerodynamic body didn't handle as well as other cars. Some owners also reported mechanical issues with the transmission. Sales were poor, and it never gained popularity with consumers. 1956 Studebaker Golden Hawk. Finally, the 1956 Studebaker Golden Hawk, a car that, surprisingly, made it onto this list despite being one of Studebaker's key models that year. It came with a 352 cubic inch Packard V8 engine producing 275 horsepower and offered both manual and automatic 3-speed transmissions. Inside, it featured a distinctive engine-turned dashboard and more options than previous Studebaker Speedster models, but it still faced criticism for its handling and overall practicality. However, to save on costs, some standard features, like turn signals, became optional extras. On the outside, the 1956 Studebaker Golden Hawk looked similar to other Hawks in that year's lineup but remained a distinct model. Despite many people considering it a great car, it still earned a spot among the worst cars of the era. The main reason was Studebaker Packard's struggle to compete with automotive giants like GM, Ford, and Chrysler, which affected how the Golden Hawk was produced and sold. The car's price was also higher than comparable models in its segment, which likely turned away potential buyers. Studebaker cut costs by reducing some standard features compared to the previous Speedster, a move seen by many as compromising both design and appearance. Additionally, the styling of Studebaker Hawks from 1956 to 1961 received mixed reactions, with some critics calling them bulky or overly ornate, straying from the original Loewe coupe design. 1950 Crosley Hot Shot and 1951 Crosley Super Sport. The 1950 Crosley Hot Shot was a tiny, lightweight sports car built by the American Crosley Corporation, known for compact and affordable vehicles. It had a 4-cylinder engine producing 26.5 horsepower and a 4-speed manual transmission. Its exterior featured a convertible design, a short wheelbase, and agile handling, making it feel nimble despite its small size. Inside, it could only seat 2 and offered few comfort features. Thanks to its light body, it could reach speeds up to 70 miles per hour. Unfortunately, the Crosley Hot Shot is remembered as one of the least desirable American cars. Its small 44 cubic inch engine lacked power, and it faced reliability issues like leaky transmissions and poorly fitted parts. Its basic interior, low power, and tiny size made it impractical for most buyers, and it was seen more as a novelty than a serious vehicle. These issues, along with other Crosley models, led the company to cease operations in 1952. 1957 Rambler Rebel. The 1957 Rambler Rebel might be a surprising inclusion. Made by American Motors Corporation, it was a mid-size car with an impressive 327 cubic inch V8 engine producing 255 horsepower, a big upgrade over the standard model at the time. Buyers could choose between a 3-speed manual or automatic transmission. The interior was simple but practical, with bench seats front and rear, fitting 6 passengers. Its low hood and short rear deck gave it a distinct appearance that stood out from other mid-size cars. Despite its strengths, the Rebel struggled in 1957. Only around 1,500 units were produced, far fewer than competing models. Some argued it didn't qualify as a muscle car, as its body style didn't match what later became the muscle car standard. The car also suffered from quality and reliability issues, limiting its commercial success. Today, it's remembered as a capable but ultimately underappreciated car that didn't live up to its potential. 1957 Ford Skyliner Retractable. The 1957 Ford Skyliner was truly innovative, becoming America's first mass-produced large retractable hardtop convertible. Its complex mechanism allowed drivers to seamlessly switch from a closed roof to open-air driving. Priced at $2,942 at the time, Ford produced 20,766 units of this groundbreaking car, making it a standout example of 1950s automotive creativity. The 1957 Ford Skyliner featured a YB block Thunderbird V8 engine producing 212 horsepower. It weighed nearly 2 tons, around 3,916 pounds, with a wheelbase over 9 feet. However, the Skyliner had significant issues. Its retractable hardtop mechanism was incredibly complex, with over 600 parts that often malfunctioned. This intricate roof system added weight, which affected handling and overall performance. Maintenance and repairs were both costly and time-consuming. Despite its innovative design, the Skyliner didn't sell as well as Ford had hoped in 1957, with only 20,766 units produced. Its high price and complexity made it less appealing compared to traditional convertibles. 1955 Dodge La Femme. The 1955 Dodge La Femme was a large car designed specifically for women. It shared the same V8 engine and transmission options as other Dodge models, producing around 185 horsepower with a 3-speed manual or 2-speed automatic. What set the La Femme apart were its unique color schemes, including sapphire white and heather rose, and a color-coordinated interior. The car also came with accessories like a matching purse, raincoat, and rain hat, targeting fashion-conscious female buyers. Unfortunately, the La Femme focused more on cosmetic features than performance or practicality. Its design relied on outdated stereotypes rather than addressing what women actually wanted in a car. Instead of prioritizing ease of use or driving performance, it offered flashy but impractical accessories. Unsurprisingly, the car wasn't a commercial success. Only 2,500 units were sold during its 2-year production run, leaving it remembered more as a marketing gimmick than a practical vehicle. 1950 Nash Rambler. The 1950 Nash Rambler was a small car produced in the early 1950s. Its six-cylinder engine generated only 82 horsepower, leaving it underpowered compared to other cars of the era. The interior was modern and comfortable for 4 passengers, featuring a unique wraparound windshield. The exterior had a distinctive bathtub shape with sweeping curves, giving it a recognizable look. While the Rambler was revolutionary in terms of fuel efficiency and compact design, it wasn't very popular. Its weak engine struggled with hills or heavy loads, and the lightweight, low-profile body shook noticeably at higher speeds or during cornering. Mechanical issues, including problems with the transmission, suspension, and electrical system, also hurt its reliability. Limited cargo space further reduced its practicality compared to larger sedans. These factors contributed to the 1950 Nash Rambler being remembered as one of the worst cars of its time. 1958 Edsel Corsair. The 1958 Edsel Corsair, part of Ford's ill-fated Edsel brand, was meant to target the upscale car market but became one of America's most notorious automotive failures. Its design faced heavy criticism, particularly the horse-collar grille, which many considered unattractive. The car was also plagued by engineering problems, most famously the teletouch automatic transmission, which frequently malfunctioned, sometimes causing drivers to shift gears accidentally when they meant to honk. Build quality was poor, with misaligned panels, uneven paint, and missing parts straight from the factory. Coupled with a high price and an economic downturn, the Edsel failed to attract buyers, became a national punchline, and caused massive financial losses for Ford. 1957 King Model 3. The 1957 King Model 3 has often been described as a parody of a car. It was designed to be a minimalist, ultra-cheap vehicle that buyers could order by mail and assemble at home. The car had a basic steel frame, thin body panels, no doors, and tiny wheels. Its single-cylinder engine produced just 9.2 horsepower, making it nearly impossible to reach 50 miles per hour. Owners compared driving it to piloting a lawnmower with turn signals. Braking and handling were terrible, giving the sensation of a shopping cart on ice. Even worse, it had zero safety features. No crumple zones, no seat belts, and no real bumpers. In a collision, the driver risked being ejected entirely. This was truly a bizarre take on the American dream. 1950 Allstate by Sears. The 1950 Allstate by Sears was one of the strangest and most misguided attempts at selling cars in America. Essentially, it was a rebadged Henry J, one of the most basic cars of the era. Sears sold it through catalogs and department stores. Buyers could choose between a 68-horsepower 4-cylinder engine or an 80-horsepower 6-cylinder engine, but acceleration was painfully slow. The car also lacked essential features. No power steering, no power brakes, no armrests, no radio, no heater, and notably, no rear trunk lid. You had to fold the back seat down and crawl in to access your luggage. Its sheet metal was flimsy, the paint chipped easily, and rattles developed quickly. Sales were dismal, with only about 1,300 units sold in 2 years, and most stores quietly stopped carrying it. 1957 Dodge Custom Royal with torsion air suspension. The 1957 Dodge Custom Royal was part of Chrysler's ambitious, forward-look design, promising a revolutionary ride with its new torsion air suspension. It was advertised to provide smoother rides and better cornering, but rushed production caused serious reliability issues. Torsion bars sagged, seized, or broke prematurely, leading to unpredictable steering and, in extreme cases, loss of control at high speeds. The car gave a strange floating sensation, with excessive body roll and numb steering, creating a nauseatingly unstable experience. Poor build quality, loose welds, misaligned panels, water leaks, and electrical problems further cemented its reputation as one of the worst cars ever made. 1950 Davis Divan. The 1950 Davis Divan was another notorious American failure. Its unusual three-wheel design, with a single front wheel for steering, created severe handling problems. The car was extremely unstable in corners and prone to lifting one side at speeds over 20 miles per hour. The interior was impractical, with the driver off-center, no real dashboard, and no attention to comfort or safety. Even the windshield wipers were manual. Its four-cylinder engine produced just 40 horsepower, making performance sluggish and the ride wobbly. Adding to the chaos, the company was built on hype and fraud. Founder Gary Davis was eventually convicted of grand theft. Only 13 cars were ever produced. 1958 Renault Dauphine. The 1958 Renault Dauphine, marketed as a sophisticated European option, faced countless problems when it arrived in the US. The American version had a rear-mounted four-cylinder engine producing just 32 horsepower, making 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration take over 30 seconds. Its tiny drum brakes were ineffective, and handling was unpredictable. A contemporary test even described it as driving like a unicycle on ice. The car was also fragile and unreliable in the US climate, prone to rust, overheating, electrical failures, poor cooling, and a finicky transmission. Slow, fragile, and ill-suited to American roads, it quickly earned a poor reputation. 1959 Buick LeSabre. The 1959 Buick LeSabre was a design icon of the 1950s, with wild tail fins, a long sweeping body, and chrome accents everywhere. But beneath its glamorous exterior, it was a heavy, sluggish car. Its Dynaflow transmission famously sapped the V8 engine's power, making acceleration feel more like a sigh than a surge. On top of that, the LeSabre carried nearly 200 pounds of decorative chrome, adding unnecessary weight and further limiting performance. Driving it felt like piloting a battleship. The car floated over the road rather than gripping it, delivering a loose and numb steering experience. Even the luxurious interior was impractical, with oversized plush seats that offered little support during movement. The LeSabre was the ultimate symbol of excess, a car that looked fast but moved like molasses. 1953 Kaiser Dragon. The 1953 Kaiser Dragon was a bizarre creation, a last-ditch attempt by an independent manufacturer to make a splash. Dubbed an over-the-top luxury barge, it featured a damp vinyl roof and performance as deflating as an air mattress. Its 226 cubic inch inline six-cylinder engine produced only 118 horsepower, and the hydromatic automatic transmission further sapped what little power the engine had. Acceleration was sluggish, taking over 15 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour. The bamboo-patterned vinyl interior looked like a tiki bar had exploded, while the padded roof absorbed water and smelled swampy for days. Externally, its gaping fishmouth grille and odd proportions divided opinions. The Kaiser Dragon was a strange mix of ambition, desperation, and mediocrity. 1957 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser. The 1957 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser was designed as a symbol of the future but quickly became a cautionary tale. Packed with gadgets and electronic toys, many of these features either didn't work from the start or failed after a few months. Roof-mounted air intakes were often ineffective and sometimes leaked, while the retractable rear window turned the interior into a wind tunnel or rain trap. Mechanically, the car was sluggish and unagile, with vague steering, excessive body roll, and weak brakes. Poor quality control made things worse, and despite its futuristic ambitions, the Turnpike Cruiser became a joke and was quickly discontinued. 1950 Ford Crestline. The 1950 Ford Crestline was Ford's attempt to stand out in the post-war automotive boom, highlighted by its black vinyl roof. However, it was mostly style over substance. Under the hood, a 239 cubic inch flathead V8 produced just 100 horsepower, giving only modest acceleration. The car had basic drum brakes, a simple suspension, and no standard power steering or brakes. The interior was unremarkable, and the vinyl roof was polarizing. Some found it chic, while others considered it cheap and flashy. The Crestliner offered no real advantage over competitors, and sales quickly declined, leaving it forgotten. 1951 Mercury Monterey. The 1951 Mercury Monterey looked like it belonged in a Hollywood movie. With sleek lines, a wide chrome grille, and a formal roofline, it projected style and sophistication. Positioned between Ford's basic sedans and Lincoln's luxury models, it targeted middle-class buyers seeking a touch of elegance. Aesthetically, the Monterey delivered, looking like the coupe a movie star might drive. But performance told a different story. Its 255 cubic inch flathead V8 produced 112 horsepower, Enough for city driving but far from exciting. Weighing around 3,500 pounds, it struggled to accelerate, taking 18.2 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour and over 22 seconds to cover a quarter mile. The 1951 Mercury Monterey's suspension was borrowed from basic Ford models, with independent coil springs up front, leaf springs in the rear, and four-wheel drum brakes. Handling was sluggish, with heavy steering and significant body roll around corners. While the interior was luxurious, it lacked innovation or standout technology compared to cheaper competitors. Combined with its higher price and mediocre performance, the Monterey quickly faded from the spotlight. 1959 Chevrolet El Camino. Chevrolet's 1959 El Camino was a bold concept, combining the utility of a pickup truck with the comfort of a coupe. On paper, it sounded perfect, but in reality, it struggled at both roles. Built on the Chevrolet Impala platform, it inherited the flashy 1950s styling, complete with large tail fins and a low stance, making it look more like a show car than a workhorse. Its bed was too small and low for serious hauling, while the cabin was cramped and less refined than traditional sedans. The El Camino ended up being more of a fashion statement than a functional vehicle. Identity crisis on four wheels. 1957 Lincoln Premier. The 1957 Lincoln Premier was designed to make a grand statement, with flamboyant styling, chrome accents, and a massive presence proclaiming, "I am the pinnacle of American luxury." But driving it was a nightmare. At nearly 19 feet long and over 5,000 pounds, navigating city streets was like piloting a ship, and visibility was poor. Even with a powerful V8 engine, the Premier remained sluggish and extremely fuel-hungry. Its luxurious interior lacked innovation compared to Cadillac rivals. With a high price, oversized chassis, and poor performance, the Premier failed to compete and is remembered as a relic of an era that valued size and flash over refinement and efficiency. 1958 Buick Limited. The 1958 Buick Limited was Buick's over-the-top attempt to outshine everyone else, but it failed. Over 19 feet long and nearly 5,000 pounds, it looked more like a yacht than a car, especially for the narrow streets and tight parking of the time. Despite its powerful V8 engine, fuel economy was terrible, often only a few miles per gallon. The car's philosophy was more chrome, more bulk, more flash, resulting in a heavy, expensive, and uncompetitive vehicle. Ride quality was vague and uncontrolled, and slowing the car felt like dragging an anchor through molasses. Only about 7,400 units were sold before it was discontinued in 1959, cementing its reputation as style over substance. 1955 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz. In the golden age of American extravagance, the 1955 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz was the king of opulence. A two-door convertible with gleaming chrome, gold accents, and proud tail fins, it looked like success on four wheels. Under the hood, a 331 cubic inch OHV V8 produced 270 horsepower, but weighing nearly 4,900 pounds, performance was underwhelming. 0 to 60 miles per hour took over 13 seconds, and the quarter mile stretched into the high 20-second range. The suspension, with independent coil springs up front and semi-elliptic leaf springs in the rear, was designed more for show than control. Four-wheel drum brakes struggled to stop the heavy car. It drove and cornered like a yacht. Inside, the Biarritz offered full leather upholstery, a wraparound windshield, and gold-plated accents. But the price tag of over $6,200 in 1955, nearly $70,000 today, bought flash, not performance. There was no real innovation or technology, just opulence for show. The Eldorado Biarritz was visually stunning but ultimately a luxurious toy designed for display rather than practical use. 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. The 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham pushed luxury to an extreme, starting at over $13,000, equivalent to $135,000 today, more than the cost of an average house. The reason the 1959 Eldorado Brougham never achieved mass success lay in its sheer opulence. The interior was hand-assembled and upholstered in leather, wool, and stainless steel, featuring extras like a custom perfume atomizer and stainless steel cocktail cups. Luxury on a Rolls-Royce level. But beneath the lavish exterior were countless technical headaches. Its advanced air suspension was notoriously unreliable, often sagging or collapsing, and the electronic features were difficult to maintain. The car's extreme weight meant even the powerful V8 struggled to move it confidently. Only 99 units were produced, making it a rare example of extravagance gone too far. Too much luxury, it seems, isn't always what buyers want. 1956 DeSoto Adventurer. With the name Adventurer, DeSoto aimed to appeal to thrill seekers, speed enthusiasts, and anyone craving something bold. And visually, the 1956 Adventurer delivered, with sweeping curves, gleaming chrome, and striking two-tone paint. But the performance was all show and no substance. Marketed as a high-performance coupe to rival the Corvette and Thunderbird, it featured a powerful Hemi 58 engine with over 300 horsepower on paper. Behind the wheel, however, soft suspension, weak brakes, and a heavy chassis made handling floaty and unsportsmanlike. Buyers expecting a true muscle coupe got a car that looked fast but drove like a family sedan. In the competitive 1950s high-performance market, the Adventurer's gap between advertising and reality proved fatal. 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III. The 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III was intended to make drivers feel like royalty, but in reality, it felt more like commanding a battleship. Nearly 20 feet long and over 5,000 pounds, the Mark III was excessive in both form and function. Designed to challenge Cadillac's top-tier models, it came with 6-way power seats, a power trunk, and power windows. On paper, these features were impressive, but the car's immense weight made everything sluggish. Its boxy design, stubby tail fins, and tank-like front end emphasized size over elegance. Even its $430 V8 engine struggled to move the car efficiently, and fuel economy was abysmal. Priced near $6,000 at the time, over $65,000 today, the Mark III competed with the Cadillac Eldorado but lacked the refinement to win. Today, it's remembered not for success, but for an era when automakers assumed bigger automatically meant better, and they were wrong. 1958 Chevrolet Yeoman. If the 1950s were the era of American automotive excess, with tail fins, chrome, and space-age styling, the 1958 Chevrolet Yeoman looked like it showed up to a fancy party severely underdressed. The Yeoman was meant to be an affordable station wagon for young families, but in cutting costs, Chevrolet stripped away almost everything people loved about their cars. No tail fins, no chrome, no two-tone paint. The Yeoman looked like a dull gray Lego brick, boxy, simple, and monotonous. The interior was even worse. No air conditioning, no radio, and no faux wood grain trim. Despite these sacrifices, it still wasn't cheap enough to compete with better-equipped wagons from other brands. Its biggest flaw? It had no identity. In an era where cars made bold statements, the Yeoman said nothing. It wasn't fast, stylish, or especially affordable. It simply existed and quickly vanished from Chevrolet's lineup. These cars, whether strange, flawed, or over-engineered, all contributed to a chaotic and fascinating chapter in American automotive history, showing how ambition, innovation, and missteps collided on the roads of the 1950s. They remind us that flashy looks and cool features alone aren't enough. A car only succeeds when it truly fits the driver's needs. If you enjoyed this ride through automotive history, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. See you in the next one.